Hey yoga mamas and friends. Today I wanted to use our yoga practice to explore the element of water. So I've been doing a little writing on Svadisthana chakra, which is the second or the sacral chakra. And if you're not familiar with the chakra system, I will include the link to my post in the description of this video. So the idea is that it's related to the element of water. And if we think of water, it offers a sense of flow, of shape-shifting, of smoothness. I mean, water has so many qualities, so you can kind of reflect on your own experience of water. But whenever I do a flow that helps us embody the qualities of water, I like to think of like kind of flowing outside the bounds of alignment. So a lot of styles of yoga might kind of encourage us to have very precise alignments. And that's not terrible, but sometimes it's nice to kind of loosen up and approach the practice not so much from a prescribed shape to put yourself in, like, you know, you have to put your foot exactly here and your shoulder over your hip. And that's a great practice for gaining a proprioceptive awareness, like awareness of where your body is in space. But sometimes it's nice to just get an approximate shape. Like, let's say we're standing up and we're, you know, in a wide stance and our arms are out, but you can add a little wiggle, or you can add shoulder circles, or you can circle the hips. Now these are like rounder, more fluid movements, and that's kind of what we're going to do here. So get yourself a strap, and if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a belt, you can use a towel, literally like a pair of pants, anything that's like long enough for you to put your hands along that length, wider than your shoulders. How wide is up to you, but not shoulder width, but wider. So go ahead and take a moment and kind of, you can add a little swing in the hips, but just let your breath flow. And make a circle above your head with your arms. So as I do this, I'm also pulling out on the strap. So I get a sense of like static stretching in the shoulders, go the other way. And if you're finding that, you know, you want a little more sensation stretch-wise, you can put the hands either closer together, further apart, whatever. My knees are slightly bent. My shoulders are relaxed away from my ears. I'm breathing. And I'm moving in a circular, flowing way. There's no exact science or alignment to this. And then maybe I do a little side to side. And as I flow side to side, again, I'm breathing. I might add a little twist and see how I'm kind of turning my torso to one side or the other. Maybe I'm adding a knee bend. Oh, this is a great way to open up the inhale. You might notice as you do this, it opens up the sides of the rib cage. Bring the arms down, circle the shoulders in one direction. You can drop that strap a few times forward with the shoulders and a few times back. All right, now you can bring your hands to your hips, or you can let the hands hang and just make circles with the hips. As you do this, you might notice the knees bend a little, and that's great. That's a great way to relax the lower body. I recommend every time you exhale, just to let the shoulders drop away from the ears. And sometimes it helps to just kind of shake the arms a few times. Okay, right? So we're not doing or holding yoga postures like this. You can go the other direction. We're kind of flirting with them, right? We're like flowing in and out of them. The shapes are just moments, right? Here's a shape, here's a pose. That's one moment. Another moment is coming forward. Another moment we're to the side. So rather than holding poses for long periods of time, we're passing through them and inhabiting them for just little moments. Okay, so as you come here, we're gonna come back to the center and pivot one foot out. See how I have that chair over there? You don't need a chair. But if you feel like you want some support, you can go get one. So you can pause the video, go grab a chair. If you don't have a chair, maybe there's a wall there. This is warrior 2. This foot, the knee is bent. the toes are facing out, and I am going to provide some alignments just for, some guidance. But again, if you're not exact, I'm not there to help you. So sense into your body, take a few breaths and feel. What am I feeling? Does it feel nice? Does it feel challenging? If it doesn't feel good or it feels painful, obviously get out of it, but what am I feeling? Okay, so here at a little kind of side to side, we're kind of like snaking the spine. Imagine like a snake going side to side like that. Breath is moving. And then as we go back and forth, we're going to use the hands and come into this side where the hand can come to the thigh, or if you have like a chair and you want that support, that's fine. That's a breath in, and the breath out is coming back to reverse warrior, side to side. The hands are optional. I mean, you don't even need to have the hands. Maybe you add a little circling, and maybe you're just kind of doing that snaking side to side. You can add the arm circles. You can go fast, you can go slow. The reason I'm adding or offering so many options is everyone's body is different, and what you need moment to moment, day to day might change. So I'm inviting you to sense into your body and see what feels best for you. Maybe you just want to stay here, hold a stretch. So just take a few more moments. If you're moving, continue with the movement and the breath. If you're not sure when to inhale and exhale, that's fine. Ask yourself what feels good. All right. Awesome. Come back to the center, a few hip circles. If you want to move that chair to the other side, you can. If it's a wall, you can just turn to face the other way. So turn the other toes out, the back toes in. Same thing, just add some snaking side to side. And I like this for if your back gets stiff, which I think most people's backs get stiff sometimes. This adds some nice gentle movement that, sometimes when we hold a pose, we get rigid, right? We get really stiff because we're trying so hard to keep that alignment. This is just loosening it up. We're flowing like water. We're releasing rigidity. Okay, this is the option again with the hands. Maybe one hand is on the thigh, reaching up, and then back. Side warrior, reverse warrior. And I like adding these arm circles because it just adds a little something extra for the shoulder and helps me focus more on my body. Sometimes when we add those little bits of movement, our attention kind of zeroes in more on the present as we pay more attention to what we're doing. Oh, breath is moving, face is relaxed. Come back to center. Shake it out. Shake the arms, shake the legs. Maybe it's not a vigorous shake, maybe it's more of a wiggle or a wobble. Okay. So I'm going to move that chair, bring myself down to the ground. You can come down however you want. I'm just going to breathe in, arms come up. Exhale, hinge at the hip, come down. Inhale, halfway up, hands on the shins. Back is flat, hands to the ground. I'm going to step back to plank pose. All right, in plank, obviously there are alignments to keep you safe and to engage your muscles in an optimal way. So here you can try to have the shoulders above the wrists and sense into the core. If the ribs feel like they're sagging a little, just pull them up. You want the back flat. If your wrists are sensitive, you can come down onto the elbows. Okay, so anytime you need to rest, come back to child's pose. But until then, I'll show one option, then another. Option one, up in plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, as I roll forward, my chin is tucked, my spine is rounded. Inhaling, shoulders above the wrists, lift the head. Hips lower slightly, exhale. Hips pull back and up to downward dog. Back and forth like that at your pace. Inhaling, spine is rounded, chin is tucked, shoulders arrive above the wrists, looking down between the hands. Exhale. Okay, again, let's not overthink it. Let's just kind of feel as I come forward. My breath is moving me. My spine is flowing in a wave-like motion as I come forward. It's rounded. Okay, that's option one. I almost forgot another option. Knees down if you want to do the other option, which is forearms on the ground. This is a little different. You come into forearm plank and then you come back to downward dog. It's a little harder to get that kind of wave-like flow in the spine. I'm going to keep the breath moving, but it can be done. If you really want to take it easy today, you can inhale cow pose, exhale cat. And that's not necessarily lesser or, there's none of these is better than the other. As you move through it, the main common denominator is that wave-like motion in the spine. So notice, it's not just like I'm moving from my core up and down. What I'm doing is I'm moving from my tailbone all the way up through my spine, mid to upper back, and then the chin tucks in the chest. When I go into cow pose, same thing, I tilt the hips forward, and then from my lower to mid to upper back, and then my head lifts. It's a wave that moves from the pelvis all the way up through the head. It takes a little practice, but it's like you're moving one vertebra at a time. It's a little more intentional, a little more refined in terms of isolating the movement of the muscles. If you get confused about the breath, just keep it moving. Okay, so you're doing your version, whether it's cat to cow, plank to downward dog, or forearm plank to dolphin. Again, if you're tired, rest. Your body is yours. You decide what you need. And then we're all going to meet eventually in child's pose. So take your time. Please don't rush. Good. I'm going to sit up for a moment. So that was a lot of information. I hope you do this video again and again, or you just try these different mini sequences again on your own so you can really feel them without me just like blabbing at you the whole time. There's so much to say. All right, so the next part is a little more chill. We're going to come closer to the ground and the same, like a similar flow. And I'm just going to show it here. Like a lot of times we do a seated or a standing cat-cow. So the cat-cow is on all fours, rounding and arching. And even seated, you can feel it. Like let's say you're going to exhale, tuck the pelvis, round the spine from the lower, mid, upper spine, and then drop the head at the end of the exhale. When you inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, arch the spine, lower, mid, upper back, and up. See that wave coming up through my spine, exhaling, tucking pelvis, rounding, chin drops. Inhale, tilt the pelvis, arching, head lifts. Try it a few more times. It's not so much a flexing and extending of the spine. It's like it is, but it's a wave. It's not just from your solar plexus. Okay, you can play with that as much as you like. I hope you play with it in your day when you're feeling a little stiff or stagnant. But let's take that movement and translate it into another little flow, just one more, from extended child's pose to cobra or bhujangasana, which is the Sanskrit term. So when you have your hands on the ground, extended child's pose, you really want to spread the fingers so that you're really flattening the palm of the ground. So here we are, forehead may or may not be to the ground, but the hips are back. And then as we inhale, we're going to let the head be heavy. Spine is rounded, breathing in. And then unfold the spine at the end of the inhale. See that way, into cobra, and then exhale. I'm still opening the chest as I bring only the hips back, just the hips, and then I round from the lower, mid, upper back, and the head drops. Do you see that? So not everyone will come fully, deeply into this cobra. That's all right. Maybe you're here, and then you exhale and come back. Did you see how when I came forward, the hips were only, they weren't like super sinking forward, a little bit. Or if you're really open in this direction and you want to go more deeply into it, you can drop the hips until the front of the hips are down and really open the chest. Up to you. Continue that movement at your pace, at the pace of your own breath. If you want to ease up on that and do something more gentle, get your chair. And then we're gonna come into this. So instead of extended child's pose, if you'd rather do a slightly less bendy back bend, we're gonna inhale, stand up, and then same thing, pull back. And you might not get the distance between your feet and the chair right off the bat. So just kind of play with it. This can also be done at a wall. I honestly feel like my chair is not as stable as I want it to be. So a wall, table, a countertop. Okay, continue whatever variation you're doing, either standing with the chair or down on the ground between extended child pose and cobra. And then when you're all done, settle back down into cobra pose, extended child. Whenever you're ready, we're gonna sit up together. Sit however you want. You can kneel in Virasana like I'm doing. You can do Sukhasana, which is easy pose. Find a comfortable seat. If you need a little prop under the hips and you're sitting like I am, Sukhasana, and you feel like you're sinking backward, sit on a little block, a stack of books, or something to prop you up. And let's go ahead and bring one hand to the heart, one to the belly. Take a few breaths and without forcing the length of the breath. So just notice as you breathe, where does your breath expand? Is it in the belly? Is it in the chest, or both? There's no one right way, just noticing. But the deeper your breath is, the more you might tend toward what's called three-part breath, which is as you inhale, you would feel the belly, then the lower rib area, and then the upper rib area. And then as you exhale, you would empty the air from the top of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs, and then the belly pull in. So you can imagine a glass of water filling. Inhale, the water, the air is filling bottom, middle, top of the lungs. And then exhale, deflating the top, the middle, the bottom of the lungs, and the belly pulls in. Sometimes it helps to visualize it. Other times it just helps to feel it. You can close your eyes. So continue that type of breathing at your own pace. I have written a separate post about it. I might write a new one, but I'll link to it in the Substack post that's in the description of this video. I hope you got a sense of sort of the flowing nature of water, the way we shape shift, the way we don't feel rigid or square. Sometimes yoga feels very square and you're reaching up and then you're going this way and it's very angular. And this was a nice little flow to bring a little roundness to your movements and to feel that the spine is super fluid. It doesn't just move, forward, back, side to side, but it does these really intricate circular flowing movements. So I hope you enjoyed that, but most of all, I hope that you take little elements of these flows and bring them into your day and sense into them on your own time on your mat without me talking you through them, because I think that's really sometimes the deepest yoga is when we're just doing it ourselves after we've practiced with a teacher or with other people, and then we can just feel it. Oh, this is how it feels. This is how my body likes to do it. This is the version that feels best to me, or oh, this is a version I usually like, but today I want to do it in this different way. So hopefully that empowers you to find your own way to practice. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments or visit my Substack at Urban Yoga Mama on Substack. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that.